Okay, number 1. It says the ellipse is centered at the origin. And given the foci is on the y-axis, the major axis is 20, and the minor axis is 18. Well, the major axis is 2a. That's the length of the major axis. And if we're telling you that it's 20 units long, what's the a value equal to? 10. If the minor axis is 18, the minor axis is 2b. What's b? 9. And it tells you, this is important, the ellipse is centered at the origin, so it's going to be x squared plus y squared. And this is important, the fixed point is on the y-axis. So you have to take these two and square them. What do you get? 181. Which number goes under x squared of these two? One of these is a squared and one's b squared. How do you know which goes where? What? The bigger one goes under the y. How come? The fixed point is on the y-axis, so that's your this is your major axis, and then the 81 goes here. Questions? Is that easy? Number 2. Find an equation of an ellipse. These are your vertices, and the minor axis is 8 units long. This one's easy. I'll draw it really quick for you. If these are vertices, you have 8, 0, and negative 8, 0. What is your a value? A is 8. What's a squared? 64. And it says the minor axis is 8 units long, so that's 2b. What's b? 4. What's b squared? 16. So what would be your equation? X squared equals 1. What are you going to put where?
64 to the x.
How come?
Because it's on the x-axis.
Because it's on the x-axis. Good. These are your two a squared, b squared. It says 2, 2. This is the third one. The center is 0, 0, and one vertex is 0, negative 7. One end of the minor axis is 5, 0. So what do we have here? We have one vertex is 0, negative 7. So I already know what a is. What's a?
7.
What's a squared? And one of the minor axes is 5, 0. So this is called a covertex. So this is what this thing looks like. What's b?
5.
What's b squared? So what's your equation? What are you going to put where?
25.
Yep. Okay, now, this one says the fixed points are negative 5, 0 and 5, 0. What is that negative 5, 0 and 5, 0? Sorry, I didn't draw even. What is this?
A.
Not A,
B.
not B,
C.
C. C is 5. Okay, now it says the length of the lattice rectum. What's the definition of lattice rectum? 2b squared over a. does anyone know what B is? B is 2. How'd you get that?
2 squared is 4 times 2.
Yep. B is 2. And so B squared is 4. And now, what you're going to do, you know what A is, or you don't know what A is, but you can figure out what A squared is. A squared minus B squared equals C squared. So A squared is our unknown. Whoops. Minus 4 equals 25. Add 4 and you get A squared is 29. So, how are you going to write this equation? It's going to be x squared over 29 plus y squared over 4 equals 1. Number 4. Now this one is, here's your first taste at one that's the center is not the origin. So it says the foci are at -4, 2. Let's see where -4, 2 is. That's a C value, and then 4, 2. That's a C value. So see this right here? Halfway, your graph is going to look something like this. If I had to sketch a rough graph. This is your major axis right here. It goes through the foci are on the major axis. So can you tell me where the center is? Where's the center? It's not 0, 0 now. 0, 2 is your center. Now, what you would do to figure that out, you could use the midpoint formula. If it's not this cut and dry, that's very easy to see that 0, 2 is the center. So how are you going to incorporate the center here? It'd be x squared plus y minus 2 squared. Okay? Now, it says the length of the major axis is 10. So then 2a equals 10. What's a? A is 5. So underneath x squared, you're going to put 25. Why? Because a squared is 25, and this has a horizontal major axis. So a squared is 25. We don't know b, but we do know what c is. What's c?
4.
How many units is it from? C is 4. C is 4. So we're going to use that relationship, that a squared minus b squared equals c squared. What are we looking for?
C, no, B.
Looking for b. Well, a squared is 25. So you have 25 minus b squared equals, what's 4 squared? 16. Anyone know what b squared is yet? 10?
11.
B
B squared, the negatives cancel. B squared is 9. We put a 9 here.
So we don't have to do anything with the y minus 2, right?
No, just leave it like that. Last one. The center is at 5, 4. So how are you going to put that center in? X minus 5 squared, y minus 4 squared. Don't forget equals 1. It says the length of the horizontal major axis is 16. What does that mean? That's a loaded phrase. Horizontal major axis. What does horizontal look like? It's shaped like this. So that means the bigger number is going to be on the x-axis. Well, if the major axis is 16, that's 2a. 2a is 16. What's a? 8, so what are you gonna put under x, the x value? 64. And the minor axis is 10, so what's half of 10? 5, what's 5 squared? Easy? Okay. I'm keeping it light today because of prom, and there's a field trip, and it's Memorial Weekend, so that's all I have for you.